amigos, ¿cómo están todos? Confe en que eres bueno. Mi nombre es Modupiada Kinjalire. Bienvenido de nuevo a mi canal de YouTube. Es su belleza negra favorita, bilingüe psiquiátrica, de nuevo, que habla de salud mental y enfermedad. Por favor, no olvide hasta click en el botón subscription. Gracias. So we're going to be talking on anxiety today. Anxiety is more than just a fear or worry. It's a feeling of fear, nervousness, ease that affects one's daily life and the body thoughts. It's a way of the brain saying that I'm not safe and responding to that kind of situation. What causes anxiety? Anxiety can be caused by a number of biological, psychological, environmental factors, including trauma, chronic stress, medical condition, even it can be genetic factor. Biological causes can comprise of brain chemistry imbalances, the neurotransmitters such as the serotonin, low level of serotonin, dopamine, or the GABA that affects one's mood and stress response. Also, there's another biological causes is the overactive amygdala, the part of the brain that processes fear. This can become hyperactive in anxious individuals. Genetic factor, if it runs in the family, if your parents or siblings have anxiety, there's tendency for it to increase in such an individual. Medical conditions can arise from hyperthyroidism, respiratory problems, heart diseases, chronic pain, gastrointestinal issues. Also can be from medication side effects or when the patient is withdrawing from substances like alcohol, benzodiazepine, and this condition can mimic or worsen anxiety symptoms. Psychological or environmental factors also can affect an individual to having anxiety. Past trauma or abuse, past experiences, especially childhood trauma, can lead to emotional triggers, it leads to anxiety. Chronic stress also from work, financial pressures, caregiving, caring for a loved one that is sick. Also immigration challenges, job insecurity, all this can build up stress over time. Personality traits are highly sensitive to when people help them or things like that. Those personality traits have high emotions, high anxiety. Also the mental health condition like depression, PTSD, substance abuse, all this can co-occur with anxiety and make an individual to have anxiety. There are social and cultural factors, especially for immigrants moving from one country to another. There's the culture shock or acculturation. There's this called acculturation stress, adapting to a new culture, language, social norms can be overwhelming. Also isolation can cause lack of support in the new territory that one finds himself or herself, can cause anxiety. Stigma around mental health can also make anxiety to be misunderstood or be minimized. So anxiety can show up in a number of ways: racing heart, chest tightness, trouble sleeping. Person can be having constant fatigue, tiredness. Person can be worrying so much, constant worry, overthinking, fear of failure. A person can feel restless or easily irritated. Also, when person is anxious, everything becomes high. There can be gastrointestinal issues like diarrhea. You want to do a job interview or you want to do an exam. There's that palpitation, the body reacting to the stress that the body is going through. So it can cause headache also. How can you screen for anxiety? Using the validated evidence-based tools like the GAD-7, GAD-7 can help one identify a person going through anxiety. Explore medical history and rule out any physical causes also can help one to know if the anxiety is as a result of any mental illness or is secondary or is primary. Primary, like no other causes is causing the anxiety, or secondary as a result of another cause. If the person has a medical condition, anxiety can ensue from that. So what can I do? What can you do to help somebody with anxiety? We offer psychoeducation, making that person feel loved and support. And using the cognitive behavioral therapy, the CBT, mindfulness, meditation, appropriate tools and non-pharmacological tools that can help that patient or an individual. Community support. It takes a village to help to train a child. Yeah, community support is important. Help-seeking behavior. So we want to let this person to talk to someone that is trusted, either a pastor, a provider, a therapist. Speaking up is the first step to recovery or to solutions to anxiety. Also, deep breathing exercise exercises. I want to do the 4-4-6 method, which is inhale for like 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds. 4, 4, 6. And when we do that, you just see that tension keeps, not like the problem vanishes, it gets better. The anxiety subsides. Won't be able to think critically and to be able to find solutions to that thing that is causing the anxiety. I want to challenge any negative thoughts with positive affirmations. Positive affirmation works for me. Self-talk, reassuring talks that this will pass. I'm not alone. I've been through this before. I will go through this and I'll overcome. Say things to yourself that is positive. That helps challenge those negative thoughts, about anxiety. And we want to reframe that thought with something that is kind. When you say kind words to yourself, how the brain processes it, and when the brain processes it is tension also in the brain. We also want to encourage breaking down tasks. You don't want to get overwhelmed with too much of loads on yourself. You want to break things, you break tasks. You don't want to do everything at once so that it will not become overwhelming. So break tasks into simple steps that can help one reduce any anxiety. It reduces any overwhelming situation. This helps me, especially when you have limited help. You want to do everything. You want to do everything by yourself. You won't just break down. So you try to do things small, slow and steady. You say slow and steady wins the race. Yeah. So you get things done in a very slow pace. The end goal is better. Also, you want to move your body. You don't want to have sedentary lifestyle, sitting in one place. There should be lifestyle modification, stretching, exercising, walking. Yeah, that helps prepare the mind, reduce stress also, and reduce any tension. I want to also prepare ahead. If you need to do things, put time ahead of it so that you won't get caught up with those things that will now become you to having anxiety. So plan your tasks ahead so that you can get things done. It can reduce stress, it can reduce fear, and boost your confidence in high pressuring situations or scenarios. Also, we want to encourage professional help when anxiety becomes constant. Generalized anxiety disorder is often diagnosed after 6 months of this constant fear, worrying, and the irritability, loss of sleep, feeling of guilt, things like that. When it happens constantly for 6 months, then we can diagnose a person having a generalized anxiety disorder. That one can just be as a result of maybe I'm having a job interview, I'm having an exam. That is understandable. When it becomes concurrent for the next 6 months, then we want to seek professional help, see a provider. We want to use medications to help with the anxiety. We want to also seek therapy and counseling to help change that stressful thoughts and things that causes you things that causes triggers to cause anxiety to be helped. You want to also minimize that. So anxiety doesn't mean that one is weak. It just means that the body is reacting to a response. Therefore, with the right tools, with communicating to the right channel, one can calm the storm with strength and clarity. So guys, entonces déjame saber tus pensamientos y seré la sesión de comentarios. Espero que este video te resulte útil. Gracias por mirar. Hasta la próxima. Manténganse a salvo. Adiós por ahora. Gracias. Thank you. Bye for now.